What's up, guys? Billy here from Mad Max Guns in collaboration with TargetTamers.com, and today we're going to be talking about the Maven Optics RS.5. I just want to say thanks to Maven for sending this out to me, and I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be as objective as possible, and especially since I'm not keeping it, I'm pretty sure I have no dog in the fight here. I've been shooting with it for on and off for about the last 2 months. I had it on my 16-inch AR-10 that if you follow me on YouTube or my Instagram, they'll both be listed below. You'll know about, but this has been put through its paces in a 308 AR platform. The optic is a 4:24 magnification, a 50mm objective lens, 30mm tube, and it weighs approximately 25.5 ounces. It comes only in second focal plane. It comes in both mil and MOA reticles, and they call it a SHR reticle. It's pretty much a TMR, for lack of a better term, and it is illuminated with just the dot in the middle being illuminated, almost like it'd be a red dot. And it comes with Japanese ED glass. So we're gonna go over the things I love about it, the things that I would change, and then kind of I would go along the same lines of things that I don't really like about it, and then just like a brief conclusion at the end. But let's get into it. The things I love: the Japanese glass. Obviously, everyone loves the edge-to-edge clarity. The color is great. There's no deformations around the outside. The parallax here is pretty much dead on. It starts here. It's either 10 yards or meters, but it goes all the way out to infinity in increments of 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100, 150, 200, 300, 500, 1000, infinity. The tracking of the elevation turret is essentially dead nuts. This one is a mil reticle. The adjustments on this are very crisp. Let me see if you can hear this. And the zero stop is pretty easy to set, which is nice. And then the zero, actually setting the zero is toolless. All you do is, you're only unscrewing the top of this right here. Oh, there it goes. You're unscrewing the top of this. Then you would pop this off, set it back to zero, which it's at. Screw it back in. I'm not going to go over the zero stop on this. It's in the manual, but this is a quick, easy thing that we could go over. Another thing I really like is that the elevation knob on it is exposed and the windage is capped, because you never know when you're going to bump into this. And most people hold for windage. Anyway, I know I definitely hold for windage, because when you're shooting, wind changes. But that's just me, my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. The magnification adjustment on this is right in that sweet spot of where it's not so hard, where it is annoying, and then it becomes a pain to actually get it to adjust. But it's also not so easy where if you bump it, it's just gonna slide through there. It's right in that perfect sweet spot. So some things that show promise, but I personally would improve on, is that the reticle in this, while it is very crisp and the lines it's an etched reticle, the lines are really crisp, everything, the subtensions are crisp. The subtensions are very strange in the sense it goes half mil increments, and then just at 3 it skips right to 5, and then 5 it just keeps going again. It's very strange. I would like to see, I understand doing the half mil increments out to 3, and then I would still like to see a 4 subtension, and then 5, and then after that you can do whatever you want. But that is one thing I would improve on, is just having a less random selection for the subtensions. The knurling on this is very aggressive. Some might say that's a good thing. I'm just unless you're wearing gloves, or if you have very soft hands, this could tear you up really good. But I guess on the flip side of that, it's aggressive in the sense of, so you could actually get a good grip on it. You're not going to be sliding if it gets dirty, or if you got sweaty palms like myself. But yeah, it's very aggressive. So that is something I would like to see a little bit less, but it is what it is, and it's certainly not a bad thing, but it's something that I would change. This is a big one that you tend to see people are improving on these days, is like on the magnification adjustment, and just having a screw in like knob makes it easier to just grab and crank over. Like the Night Forces all have these little screw in, a little bit longer of a screw, and then the EOTech Voodoos now do it, and pretty much everybody else is going to that. It's having something that comes with it instead of having to buying something for aftermarket. So that's something I would also like to see moving forward. The illumination not being daylight bright isn't a total deal breaker, because typically in these type of optics, most of them aren't daylight bright, but the fact that the only part being illuminated is the 0.1 mil dot in the center of the reticle, you would think that they could get a little more power to that. And it's not a first focal plane, so it's just like most second focal plane stuff like the Razor and the Burris XTR series, they do come daylight bright because it's only that little pinpoint thing in the middle. But at the same time, with a long range scope such as this, you're not really using your illumination that often unless it's a dark out. But if you're gonna illuminate it, I would like to see it daylight bright. Now some things that I personally don't like about it. I'm not a big 30mm tube guy. I'm moving more towards the 34mm because I do dial. You get a lot more, and I like to shoot out to further ranges. You get more elevation out of it. Some people say you get more light through the tube. I've heard people in like the industry that build scopes that say that's not true, so that is what it is. But I do like to see at this magnification a 34mm tube. Now, piggybacking off of that, with this level of magnification, I personally don't like second focal plane. Second focal plane, I think, really does its best work in the 1 to 6 range, the 2 to 12, 2 to 10, whatever, 4 to 16s, 3 to 15s, 3 to 18s, stuff that you could be shooting at full magnification and actually getting to use those subtensions for holding off. I'm not always shooting at full magnification at 24, especially since I started doing like PRS shooting and actually competing. You're typically never on that max magnification, so if you're holding for wind and you're trying to keep a consistent hold, those subtensions in the second focal plane scope aren't going to be on unless you're at full magnification, so you're running into some issues there. So if they made this in a lower magnification range, say the 3 to 18, 3 to 15, 4 to 16 range, second focal plane would present no issue to me, because you get to still have that wide field of view at those max ranges, whereas at 24 you're going to have a smaller field of view. But for me personally, I think this would find its way on like a good range gun, not something that you're going to be doing like a PRS match in. I definitely don't think this fits its way on a PRS gun, just because you need that. You're really going to need that first focal plane. It would be good on like a ranch gun, a hunting rifle, providing you're comfortable with it having exposed elevation, because you might bump that from time to time, but that's something to be cognizant if you do put this on a hunting rifle, ranch rifle, like I said, or even just like a regular range gun. It definitely has a demand somewhere. If you look at Night Force's NXS series, they were originally all second focal plane. The SHV series, all second focal plane. The Mark IV from Leupold, they're mostly second focal plane. There's definitely a demand for this somewhere, but it's not something that I would pick out. In 2021, it is that style of build, to me, is a little dated. So again, that is my opinion. Those things right there is my opinion on it. The other stuff was pretty objectively speaking. But ultimately, would I buy this at the $1,400 price range? No, I wouldn't. The construction of it is great. It is a great quality scope, but those two things, the tube size and second focal plane at this magnification, mainly the second focal plane, is a reason why I would not buy this. If you're not using it for competition, or really that is what I would be using it for, but if you're not using this scope for competing or, you know, ranging targets, or if you dial wind, those are things you got to think about. But like I said, I personally would not buy this, but it might fit your needs, so keep that into consideration for what your needs are. So in conclusion, what you're getting here is a very high quality scope with the second focal plane, great glass, great construction, great magnification, adjustment, illumination while it might not be daylight bright, toolless zeroing of the knobs, capped adjustments, great clicks, and so on. Maven makes a real quality optic. I would probably shift more towards the RS.5, which is pretty much everything I look for. First focal plane, 34mm tube. But this is what it is. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you drop a like below. Make sure you subscribe to Target Tamer's channel. You can check out a detailed write-up of this video on this topic at targettamers.com. The link will be below. Check out my channel, Mad Max Guns. Check me out on Instagram at Mad Max Guns. And all that stuff should be down below in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.